Good job, but I really don't believe that this should be here. I don't believe this should be here. This is supposed to be Central Hospital. So I actually made my own point made earlier, but I'm deputy governor, and if the governor feel this is what should be, fine. But what I've just come to check is the extent of work they've done, and they have told me it's about 80% completion. But if you really ask me, my unofficial um, opinion is that this should be somewhere else, not here, because here is Central Hospital. But in terms of what they've done, with what we have seen, they said it's about 80% completion. Fine, and it looks fine. It looks very good. But I have my reservation when it comes to the particular location where it is. You see, when people that are on exile start releasing press releases, I don't think we should talk about them because we are own boys. We are here. We are in Edo. So anybody that want to say anything, you come to Edo and say it, not to be on exile and you start issuing statements. So I don't think we should make them an issue. What is key is that government must move forward, and that is what we're doing. I've since resumed since after my reinstatement, and I think this issue of reinstatement should be a thing of the past. Nobody should be talking about it. The judgment has been made, and I have resumed. So that is what is key. But the truth is that can I work with Obaseki? That is where the issues are. So I can work with him. He can work with me. So, but the office of the deputy governor is not an office under Obaseki. It's a constitutional office. And until we understand the difference between office of the governor and office of the deputy governor and the constitutionality of the two offices, I think it will help us to understand what is happening in Edo State. I am deputy governor, no questioning about that, and the constitution made it clear the role of the governor and the role of the deputy governor. So as it is today, I am the deputy governor. There was never a time that I was not deputy governor. That's what the court said. There was never a time I was not deputy governor. And deputy governor is an elective position. It's not an appointive position. So I have my certificate of return, two certificates of return. And so I think that should not be an issue. What is key now is that what have we done? And this project, for the next 1 week, I'll be going around in Edo South. The other week, I'll be going around in Edo Central and Edo North to check what we have done this period. And because a new sheriff is in town, we must hand over to him. So I am doing my work as deputy governor of Edo State, and you can see the governor-elect will do what he wants to do as when he resumes office as the governor of Edo State. My own duty is to discharge my own duty as the deputy governor. And as a deputy governor, I have come to inspect and check what is happening here. And that's what it is. And you can see
Edo State people and Nigerians across the world, greetings to you all. I want to especially salute everybody for joining me, and I want to I appeal if you are there and you can share this broadcast. I will appreciate that. We are live on YouTube and we are currently live on Facebook. The Comrade Show TCS blog, both Facebook and on YouTube. We've just been listening to the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Comrade Philip Sharibu. And of course, this development, in Edo State right now as we speak, is very interesting. Interesting because there are so many different twists and turns. I have sat down, critically to look at the state of Edo State as it is today. And I am worried, very worried. And because of that, as part of this broadcast, I would take quite a while to speak Benin. Well, I'm going to want to speak to the Benin speaking people of Edo State. a major part of this broadcast will be dedicated to that. So I will appeal to followers and, of course, those that are subscribed to the Comrade Show to pardon me by the time I switch to Benin. I will be doing that because I probably feel that my speaking Benin language, when it gets to that point, it's important. Probably it's going to sink a lot better because there's a message I want to pass across. And so if you're a Benin person, Lahu, I appeal to you. Bring everybody together. This is for all of us. This broadcast is Edonuzomo now and maybe the future. Of course, plus Naija 64. So let me not forget, today is Nigeria's independence anniversary. I'll come back. Stay with me. Right? This broadcast is a bit, packed. My name is Comrade Lamte Oriahi. Don't forget. Stay with me and let's start this properly.
This is the Comrade Show. The Comrade Show with Comrade Lamte Oriahi. This is the Comrade Show.
Oh yes, my people, I agree to now, plenty fully. It is the Comrade Show, and of course, we know what happened in Edo State yesterday. We know what Edo State is today. What we cannot tell is what's going to happen in Edo State tomorrow. As we speak, we've had elections. A winner has been declared by INEC. He has gone ahead to get his certificate of return. The losing part, the PDP, they lay claim to the office itself that they won the election. They've gone to the tribunal. Of course, within the next 180 days, it's expected that in Edo State that things will be a bit unsettled until the final verdict, probably by the Supreme Court. We may not know who is the governor of Edo State. A lot is flying around in the internet, why the APC strongly, situate their position to say that Okpe would have won the election. Of course, surrogates of the PDP are all about what you hear now is Asue is coming all over, because there's a strong belief, by their own camp that eventually the court is going to make Asue become the governor of Edo State. Now, just before I zero into Edo State and the development just now, I don't want to forget that today is Nigeria's independent anniversary. Unfortunately, I stand to be corrected. For me, having observed the entire day today, the internet, the newspapers, everywhere, I think today may go down in history as one of the worst or one of the most docile independent anniversary we have ever had, possibly. I don't know how it was, previously, maybe in the 60s, but in the last 50 years, today, this probably may be one of the worst independence anniversary we've had. Now, why is it like that? You could see everywhere that Nigerians are not enthusiastic at all. People are not even posting the celebration. Today, I listened to the president, speak. And I can tell you, for me, I don't know for you, it's, again, another very uninspiring, summation by Mr. President. And it pains me, really. Each time I hear, be patient, the dividends of what we are doing, has started, and all of that, it's very painful to hear, because there is no bigger word of deception from a government to her people. As we speak, another 30 billion, is it 30 billion naira, have just been borrowed by this same administration, plunging Nigeria deeper into, huge difficulty, as it were. Only God knows whether we can come out of this. Our debt profile has, in fact, skyrocketed beyond measure. The policies of the administration is not working. Within the country, all we see, when it comes to politics and, political, executions and all of that, elections and all of that, all we see is taking us even farther away from what is supposed to be normal. What has become normal in Nigeria under President President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is what is abnormal in other climes, what you don't hear of. In recent days, I've had cause to interact with a lot of African immigrants in the United Kingdom. And every one of them share a similar story, like we would share about Nigeria. How deplorable, politicians have made African countries. But one thing was common, or has become common in all of these conversations. Every of these Africans, whether a Kenyan that I come across, or a South African, or a Ghanaian, or all of them, talking of regular, normal citizens like myself, they came to the agreement that each of these African nations expected Nigeria to provide leadership, a leadership that would pervade the whole of Africa and bring Africa, and make Africa, put Africa, in her own place when it comes to global scheme of things. Invariably, it is the failure of Nigeria that is largely responsible for the failure of all other African countries. And of course, it's sad that the leaders we have, whether as governors or as local government chairmen or as presidents and all of that, ministers or whatever they are, National Assembly members, they don't seem to understand that because we are the most populous black nation in the world, not just most populous, 1 in 5 black person in this world is Nigerian. About 1 in 5 African is a Nigerian. For every 5 African you come across, 1 of them is Nigerian. That means Nigeria is about 1/5 of the entire African population. That is a huge number, which means that the influence of Nigeria over the entire Africa is huge. Instead of us to, stabilize ourselves and, make Africa, as it used to be, the centerpiece of our own foreign policy and help Africa, to stand on our feet, we ourselves, we are riddled with corruption, we are riddled with greed, we are riddled with selfishness to the extent that we cannot even give ourselves a proper election, which is the foundation of development. We steal, we hoodwink people, we subjugate ourselves. As a matter of fact, we have become the neo-colonialists of our own very selves. And on this occasion, the person who's midwifing this deplorable Nigeria, this sad Nigeria, this Nigeria that is not beaming with enthusiasm to the extent that the people of Nigeria cannot, as much as even, come out convincingly to celebrate their own independence, talk less of bringing other people to join us in the celebration. It is sad and it's shameful. And to hear a president sit and say one word, and yet what we see, what we can feel is different from what he says, for me, is highly deceptive and it's very sad. How long are we going to travel into this abyss of no return? I don't know, but something needs to be done. Now, while we talk about what is happening at the federal level, we cannot, of course, extricate what is happening at the state and local government levels. Because, again, all of this are intertwined, the fear for tomorrow is very palpable. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. But one thing that people can speculate is that there is an agenda to epicilize Nigeria, to make Nigeria become a one-party state. Shamefully, the Senate president has just been given an award of GCFR, or Grand Commander of the Order of the Naija. And you ask yourself, what has he done? Because the only thing many Nigerians can say, that can identify with to say, man, this is what this Senate president represents, is that, not too long ago, this same Senate president was under the radar of the EFCC as having stolen billions from the coffers of his own state when he was governor. Not too long ago, Nigerians will remember that Oshomole told this same Senate president that if you move away from PDP and join us in the APC, your sins will be forgiven. And of course, not long after, we could see the Senate president, cross carpet, move, and join the APC. And he was rewarded first with the cabinet, federal cabinet position, and later rewarded with the Senate presidency of the Nigerian parliament. This is just a tip of the iceberg of how much we have elevated alleged corrupt individuals into high positions of authority. And we even bless them, with national awards, encouraging them to ensure that they help to keep Nigeria under. When you look at the political class just now, you look at Nigeria's independence just now, you look at where we are coming from, that for 64 years, as a nation, we still cannot say we have conquered hunger. We still cannot provide basic necessities of life for our own citizens. After 64 years, all we hear today is that our own natural resources, like our crude oil, has been sold for nearly 30 years in advance. That even as we speak, we have crude oil. Technically, we do not have crude oil. That's what it means. And the sales of these, the business has been done, is only in the pocket of a few people. We don't find these things in our hospitals. We don't find it in our road network. We don't find it in shelter. We don't find it in the price of food and all of that. Nigerians are willing. Only a couple of months ago, Nigerians trooped out in their numbers. Some even died in the process, challenging the status quo, saying we are hungry, and yet we remain hungry. And today, it is no surprise that we have independence celebration at 64. We are not enthused. I saw a post earlier today, somebody posted Happy Independence Day to Nigeria. And 2 comments were there. And one of them said, "Bros, are you sure?" That was one of the comments. And I shook my head. Earlier this year, on the 4th of July, I was supposed to be in Boston, United States, to go see my youngest brother who lives there. And he actually chose that 4th of July. As a matter of fact, an American friend of mine, when I told him I'll be going to the US for a short visit, he said, "Man, look, make sure you are there on 4th of July because it's American independence." And that, my friend here was very glad that I'm going to Boston, that Boston is the heart of that celebration and all of that. Everybody was like, "Man, Lando, you have to come to Boston on the 4th of July. Unfortunately, because I had something else that came up here in the UK on the 5th of July, I could not make that trip. Now, because of how much, I've never experienced American independence before, but because of how much, everybody has talked about the American independence celebration in the US, I'm currently looking forward to going to the US, to be in the US on the 4th of July next year, just to experience that. And I think that they have reasons to be enthused about the American independence, because when they look back, over 200 years, how far the Americans have come, to be the leader, indisputable, indisputable leader of the world today, and how well they have advanced in their own, politics and every other thing. Citizens cannot be blamed, cannot be faulted when they celebrate their independence in the United States, even more than Christmas and all of that, because they have ensured that their leaders keep to the tenets of what democracy means. Can we say that today? Can we even imagine that 64 years after, can we imagine that in another 10, 15, 20, or another 64 years, that we'll have a Nigeria that we can be proud of? For the now, nothing speaks to that hope. Nothing at all. And that is why today has been gloom. Today has been dim. And Nigerians are just going about their normal duties. Like, people are not, they don't even take cognizance of the fact that today is Nigeria's independence. But it's good we talk about it. While the president is living in his own illusion, giving all of this, be patient, blah, 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 that he did today, and that he's been doing, let him be reminded, and let all the political leaders in Nigeria be reminded that Nigerians are sad. Nigeria is dim, is gloom. And the fortunes of Nigeria just now is not happening by accident. It is happening because of the deliberate will, the deliberate programs and policies of those in government. Corruption in high places is what has led and brought Nigeria almost to her knees. Just this evening, many of us have been unsettled because of what is happening around the globe. Of course, we've been following the issues between Russia and Ukraine. We have followed between Israel and Gaza, Israel, Hezbollah, and just this evening, it's in the news. As a matter of fact, is the biggest news right now from this evening that Israel has launched attack. Iran has launched attack on Israel. And everybody's talking about all of these. And when these discussions are taking place, you find American, Britain, France, everybody, nations across the world, all of them weigh in one way or the other. What you hardly hear or what you never hear is what is the position of Nigeria or Africa when it comes to global issues as these. But because we have sold our souls to the devil, because of greed and corruption, we cannot take our place in global scheme of things. It probably would not be out of place that even while we have these issues between Israel and her neighbors and every other thing, Nigeria is standing to say, this is what our position is on this matter. This is what Africa's position is, because we have risen to that position. And the only thing that can take us to that position is when we become selfless, when we truly serve for the glory of service. That is what takes us to that position. When our nation begins to shun advances of foreign nations to further bring us into perpetual poverty and begin to stand up for ourselves, and in this stand for Africa, there is no way we are going to move beyond where we are right now. We will listen, we will take, and we will have no role, no position. That is how bad it is, and it's a shame, it's a slap. And for me, I'm saddened by it. Because I think that we have all, God has endowed us with everything, human and material resources, to be one of the most notable, one of the most formidable nations in this world. That when the world is talking about affairs that affect the globe, Nigeria should be at that table discussing the way forward for the future of this world. But where are we? Where are we? Of course, we are nowhere. I'm just announcing now, only within the last 24, 48 hours now, another 30 billion plus in debt has been approved for Nigeria. And at the end of the day, for all that we have borrowed and borrowed and borrowed, what we find is that Ghana cedis, 400 Ghana cedis is now in tens of thousands of naira. I remember when I was a much younger person, when it wasn't this bad. I'm talking of less than 25 years ago. One Nigerian naira was equal to about 30 Ghana cedis. One Nigerian naira was equal to about 30 Ghana cedis. Now, if you take 400 Nigerian naira, you understand what I'm saying, and you times it by 30 Ghana cedis, you'll be having something over 100,000 Ghana cedis. But today, all that has flipped. We are now the most populous black nation and the crying baby of Africa. Our economy has been plunged by people that we call leaders, and yet they are the ones who get celebrated by people who don't even know their left from their right, and they celebrate themselves, and we continue to perpetuate them, putting them there, ensuring that we all hear, their corrupt virtues to continue to subjugate the entire Nigerian people. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a lot more is expected. Your speech today, honestly, is uninspiring. You said you have conquered insecurity, killed several Boko Haram members. And the question is, how, where, when in this Nigeria? Anyways, Nigerians, for those who truly care, who are patriots, I would say for the sake of the numbers, happy independence celebration. Otherwise, there's really nothing to celebrate about Nigeria's independence. I'm going to hang that date. I beg if you did there, please, now that I share this broadcast, let's get more people together. I'm going to move on to Edo State. Edo Nuzomo now. And you're going to answer that. Put the and in there. Stay with me, don't go away. It is the Comrade Show.
The Comrade Show. Wait. Comrade Lante Oriente. This is the Comrade Show.
Thank you very much, Edo State people and Nigerians. Greetings to you all. I want to appeal to my to viewers that I will, be speaking Benin dialects in this area. In recent days, it's been announced widely that Governor Baseki of Edo State is in Germany, I think Frankfurt to be precise. And he's there for some art exhibition and stuff like that. We know the recent history, when it comes to Edo State politics. Philip Shaibu has been with the governor, and recently, not too long ago, he was impeached, reinstated by the court and every other thing. He's not been part of governance, so to speak. He's not been in the cabinet of Obaseki. Obaseki, as far as we know, has sort of ostracized his deputy, Philip Shaibu. Now, why Governor Obaseki, was away? This happened.
Edo Deputy Governor Right Honorable Comrade Philip Shaibu and in team on 30th September 2024 don carry waka go do check for some big projects where they happen for Benin City. The project will go out of the infrastructure for the city, now the ongoing construction of 170-room Radisson Hotel, Edo State Police Command Road, Okada Way and the Museum of West Africa Arts Moa. For the Radisson Hotel, the Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu and the team come follow the project manager, Engineer Samuel Adeyemi, waka around the place. The waka about can show the standard rooms, executive suite, the presidential suite, lobby bar and cafe, ballroom, restaurants, pool bar and gym, gym and spa. Oga Shaibu contact say the work they go well, but come also advise say make them meet the deadline and maintain the highest quality for the construction. He constantly talk say in they go round to check the major work where the Obaseki-led administration don't do and the ones where still they ongoing, so them go fit gather data and informate where them want hand over to the next administration where go take over by November 12.
I think the quality of the work so far is good, and there are other things that I've seen that will not be for camera, but so far so good. What is key is that we are going around to check the extent of job we've done, knowing fully well that the lifespan of this administration, from the Obaseki administration, will be expiring November 11, and a new sheriff is already in town, waiting to take over November 12. So I'm going around to check all the major jobs that this administration started, and some of them are still on for the purpose of gathering data and gathering all the information to hand over to the next administration. And that is why we are going around all the facilities in Edo State. So we'll be taking almost 2 weeks to do that, so that on-the-spot assessment of every of our projects, both especially those that are still ongoing.
The contractor, Shapuji Palonji Construction Company, for their talk on and said them supposed hand over the first phase of the project by November and the second phase by February 2025. It come also and said the project don't reach 52% completion.
The project has been structured to be completed in phases. We have phase 1, which was supposed to hand over in December. Then the phase 2. Sometime in February next year, which is February 2025. At the moment, we have gotten to about 52% of the completion of the work itself. When you consider the civil, the electrical, mechanical, and all that added together, we have an average of about 52. as you can see during the inspection, we still have a lot of work to do when it comes to finish it. The first phase I mentioned earlier, ground floor, first floor, and the third floor, including the external walls, the ancillary buildings. That is the one that we face for completion and partial handover in December. Okay, November, sorry, don't be corrected, it's November. Then the other two floors with general completion of the work will be February 2025. For this project, as the work is going on, there's modifications based on design, because we have technical partners like Radisson International. So for every work that we do, it goes back to them for review and approval. So in some areas, because it was an old building, in some areas, when we are working, we find pillars and things like that.
Okay, those two people, this is not a long video. It's a few minutes though. But what we are saying is Philip Shaibu taking on-the-spot assessment of ongoing projects by the Edo State government. Apparently, this not be decision by the Executive Council of Edo State government led by Governor Godwin Obaseki. This apparently na pepper them arrangement. Now, I don't sit down to analyze this whole thing when they happen right now. And definitely, Philip Shuaibu, he take instructions from other sources, okay? To, apart from pepper them, to of course, now him now will be torn on the flesh of Governor Godwin Obaseki. He's an insider before he was pushed out. So this arrangement right now, how this matter will take snowball into what it goes snowball into, we don't know. Okay, we don't know. But apparently, Obaseki probably is expected to be in Benin very soon. And I equally hear say Philip Shuaibu is trying to make way into government house, make go resume your office gone just beside Governor Godwin Obaseki. So apparently, the drama from this whole matter is big. This is one part. Now we are aware that Mondo Bebolo is currently has been named the governor-elect of Edo State, and recently Mondo Bebolo go take in certificate of office, certificate of return, and like I established earlier, the PDP too, they don't go court, they don't go tribunal. Of course, maybe that matter will move to Supreme Court and every other thing and all of that. Now, something they very prominent in this matter when I talk about so here. What is the prominent is even more prominent than Mondo Bebolo. Now, this man what they call Oshomole, Adams Oshomole. Now, the prominence of Adams Oshomole inside this whole equation, okay, is very, very instructive. And now what I want to talk about maybe that one, this one. Now I'm going to start this by first and foremost reminding us so that maybe we understand where we come from. Edo State is divided into 3 senatorial districts. We've got the Edo North, we've got the Edo Central, and we've got the Edo South. The Edo North is made up of where? The Afemais, the Kukurukus. The Edo, the other ones as well. The Edo Central can be made up of the Asians. And of course, Edo South made up of the Benins. Now, from time to time, historically, when it comes to an election like this, the major target area to be won politically, now Edo South. Because Edo South boasts of, the largest number of registered voters all the time. If you combine Edo North and Edo Central together, they don't even reach Edo South, by way of population. But as we speak, the power we produce, what's his name now, Modobewo Bakomiza, come from Edo North, under Oshomole's stewardship. Okay? Now, I get very, very concerned as a Benin man that the Benins with their registered, voters by INEC to the tune of about 1.5 million were unable to determine who the next governor of Edo State would be, but it was determined by Edo North under the guidance of Oshomole with, far less, with about 620,000, registered voters. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? Now they determine who be governor-elect of Edo State today as we speak. Now what this has done is to tip the balance of power from Edo South and put it in the hands of Edo North. Even when somebody from Edo Central in Akbakomiza is named as the governor-elect and somebody to be sworn in as the governor of Edo State, apparently, the governor of Edo State elected just now that is not seen is Adams Oshomole. Because as we speak, the glory of governance, it don't come out for Obaseki body, it don't go me to Oshomole. In fact, I have it on very good authority. Say right now, Oshomole House is busier than the government house of Edo State. Because all of these politicians are beginning to go and negotiate. That without Oshomole's blessing, nobody will serve under Ukbewolo. So apparently, Ukbewolo right now, before the eyes of many, is just like he's going to be there as the governor of Edo State, but the person who's going to be governing Edo State is Adams Oshomole. Now, the question I can ask myself is, where are the Edo South people? Or who is the political leader of Edo South just now? Now, we cannot confuse anybody, so we don't discuss the outcome of this election. Of course, I don't talk tirelessly how this election has been flawed. Now I'm discussing the current state of things. I don't know what's going to change tomorrow. Things could change tomorrow. PDP believe they have a case to bring them back on board. Now we speak to waiting we know. Waiting we know right now is Akbakomiza is the governor-elect. On the 12th of November, he's going to be sworn in as the governor of Edo State. Right? So, my people, when I pardon me, now I want to talk to the Benin people and make up Edo South. If you have to do some more, I'll just take a short break. Don't go away. Stay with me. Please share this broadcast. I think it's going to be instructive. I'm not calling for anything. I'm just going to say, man, we need to look inwards. We need to look inwards. Stay with me. Don't go away.
This is the commercial.
Okay. Il y a de nous hommes wa bebe na recha enimo ikmo usa no yori ya no ye comrade lante ya yovan ehoni zedo wa sena punda we edo wa mazewo ma wi owo aso edo aso wa do yiri odi maze no sunu na ma gbegbe na ka bo mpa mu were ka bo re ne na we amayinu kan inyisu no you no yegbe kan gbe katikati mi na do yi hebege na no sunu wa ko magi ma so mo pa no oka abo da me we emi hia do aye mi no ye na ego tedo hia legane personally la wari wa no ra obi do la ga e broadcasting na ni magwe magwa ego tedo hia legane that dey have no yegbe kan gbe ni ma ho no se azagba be ya fefefe ikaba mu pa mu were ya fefefe ina be ya nge no wana ge aneni na araye Even the politics we are here again. Again, here, when I hear Kalutoge Edo State politics or Adam Soshomole. Adam Soshomole or Basekire. Adam Soshomole, you will be right even as we speak. And it might have a fair ni time that Adam Soshomole mu, you know, even do. The brokers not here making now, Okpa ma yahin o. Unica establish any case o que via e via fema vi yora be ya fefe ya se unu no zedo Okpa ma yahin so Okpa no ma be him in the politics ye here. Kate ya se egbe Nigeria we do fear utedo ariye abi state here ni ke. When I tell you, man, our own traditional leader, our own Royal Majesty, Monoba Nendo, who is a politician, he cannot play a role in politics because he's the father of everybody. But I do Renia, Manivi do my main leader. And I mean where that even in here, soon. And I mean where a big man, man, I my mwe for a sayo. On your yame we brokers na neboni you know kan from that way edo we alwe no mo amie ne so we owe mo pata mo menwa se kwe ohun we iwe zedo na mami we ni mami kina we mami nwuna no keke ni manwina mami inwino oge akugbe ke ba ahwe megbe no keke ni makaka bo promote the second man on no zedo. You might only take any this thing. Anybody wants to call, I will go and any talent is no wrong. Egana was then we primaries. My end here no soon, but category we PC na. Yana carry one another a denko Dennis Novi Daosa. And I will Oshomo Lori on la diabo. Is there Yamuna support Omana Pakomiza. Yana do amavini ya we ya do me Pakomiza or do uhwe the ticket. It then yana do the care. For many people that in a way is a yamu kive Oshomole also yana is settled. When I go on in my day where Oshomole take over ne. Okbiana Pakomiza. Oh yeah, Bujana ya me president. Me pictures of Noki Valley Ladia. Me ma me if you drop bawa. Oshomole ga mudia. Ishaibu mudia. Oshomole ga mudia shaibu mudia. Ana ina me we deko to boy self. Iye ke shaibu. Ye. Ino ya me turn na iwe. Oshomole we no na governor on power iye we kakabo sayo eme kparo ni ati elama e position elama ra yi the government or Oshomole we he ni but any other government ni ye that de ki no keke afefefe me na yi guana ni ave minister no keke afefefe since the last 16 years Oshomole all determine now a government na na ya kan so na na Oshomole take over na yeah, we are bigger right now as we speak. And I will not take a population in that way kiri. And do south on your population on your here. It ain't only here, nigga, you know, can basically a broadcasting, but then you know, can from that way, we swim in the expect where or basically, I go egg banana. Or Murioma will tell you, in a time no man. That way, you know, yani. Obasaki mani na me where Oviedo no do mudia ne do, you know. Wa mukbamu we ne. Obasaki no ke na me where you know akugbe oredo. You know do ga o ma no ye unime. Mi dade ya fefe no gwe ya zaredo more or less. And I do me where akugbe ni on do hare ni man on a kidi and turn up back in your odonitari. On I do my man, do you a money on a man, you a money, my big man. When I'm a big man for. He dare any one area back with me, Bana, on a echo. On a me governor of Lagos State. If you there, the mood no be arriva. I've seen the picture, say everything. Or time me where if you do, what's your position? It needs to know what I could do right now. Not concern if you do. Even who where or I say when Agbeu have no more less, have a boss in the fair, when I lead the garage here. And we are quick on yourself. If I don't know if do. Any here or be in a day at to report. Any here be gather aya bobo. It's what bad. But we name at an royal matter my winner time. Many ye the gena eme kana. E mas de fa na wa una fe ana ina me we ima we be ka bodu ya we gbi ma ye otote e do not. O ma heki hi o ma be bad senior na dem no really are here. E me na my swear in ga bakomiza. Or ma where I swear in show malo can determine or swene. You may video panorama or by young video. You know where when I get the hard money, but you must say that more no, but we don't know. On a more yaga. In a position like me, on a next speaker, no here, nobody, position. Yeah, we here, but the boy have be there where if you do have relevance with government at Bakomizano. I remember that what is a movie savvy, no. He hear me ye de sans have relevance with government aware. If not pas mon dit, or where when a filishoa bu sorte se, they know they can make a gbo shomole. We no sotok se, but zen of 2020. A day de. Agbari morire. Ushomole na mieji. Ushomole amudiania. If you show mudia, or my whole Europe basuno. A do where a doma so be your ma. If you do not, it might be me out. He make no shomole because he's a true leader of his people. Or where woman, I own a meroyi. Itan no zabo no. Aremie we okpa matik bi mai kesan kafe make ya fefe okpa matik bi mai ayere edo we awe to aso an kinu gba ola that way yibi kinu kiri that way o nira that way o wa no kiri o agrimania otanera na egbe na we ize ya murivo Ize ya me wa howo orie gba ye me apakomizana. Usomole na do you need do if I usomole na do fiagba. Usomole right now agi biga. E Dennis House arriva, ye no river in ame where e man blame ko bi o hand Dennis House he dey no he no can set you. It's just a small boy. But he had gihugie. He had gihugie. Nra where or what we can bubo se ona bubo ho ase o se dey go ni wan dey bai. E do right now my leader. Uswini no ga ahie. No ga ri megbe no ga yi me. Guaka if no dey kan mo baseki. Amana do na do guy where do I ana ni ati oso abo do we obonu we do like position ona do guy where e man ya fefe no keke ni we viole guy gbe ni we power na me we be ten we be ten e bu we be musayo una zari here eni ya fefe Ori adeba. Imabe na do wale we kon. Usaba gyori or your mima kegbe. Or na yena ni. Usu in my experience na right now. Okaboda or your kakabo. A patriot working. On the marima where ima in Iran. On the marima where imaking one you would do. Ini kata se we e woman ahu na meroyi. Tele. Itana would do. Akabori yae. I'm na yaiha. Oshomole na mudia bikini ebo eye bo ya mudia. Oshomole I wanna left. Or ye be money. Yali left. Or wanna lay right. Or yali right. Hunda where or make be position in there. Eba bana swan. Oka we governor you tell do now. Me no baseki be una. Ema ye bega Oshomole. Oshomole eto spectacular as a governor. E mata ma wona ata ana wona compare wona no Oshomole u kino baseki u. I wona Oshomole u tell do or ma va no baseki u. Ogene mata. E mata ma wona ata. So kpano uni moma or your mama. Uni o baseki no ni or raze or a government as governor. O my gear anybody could wear a hand they go winner de go man winner. Kate say here e kiri me ye o baseki ma certain thing ye do mu sayo. Iwe Oshomole raze e man ni ati e la man. Yon de control ra zero or do. Even ya yige do yawo o saba pa he. E la man ni e Barcelona agbe ball ko funny Barcelona working. Okay do team. Oh ya watch Barcelona the Camp Nou. The anti a Camp Nou mati e boy anti a no camp. The stadium Barcelona they Spain. Oh ya watching ani. Us still talk about 1009. Eheva amaba makwe o na la mama de boma o e usu ma no show more le power or a government ya bu video ni usu mi ni ani hia u ni ya power yin ase gbedi na so e finish aibu na oze we usu mole oye mi agbadia ni na yegun na edoni e mana mi e governor Gbenedion obi adono e mana mi oyegun obi adono o basaki na bere na ya o be baba obi adono iya na ya fefe no ni mesu nu ye ni ana wa wonu ge irrelevance o here today the police o do who said it there ero o tedoni e mana be mi aneni no be san ma heni na neni hu tedoni apako bizani amu ye governor na ya e boy aneni wa no they take a call and they don't agwa na hello
My brother.
Hello. Yeah. A real live broadcast too. Oh, yes, a real live broadcast too.
Oh, anyway, I'm so interested. We comment to you soon.
Okay. Or speaker, sir. Or speaker, go ahead.
WhatsApp or here. WhatsApp.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to speaker if you don't mind.
My speaker, go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay. May God bless you.
Call you, what's it?
In short, I'm touched. It's in my bones. Where I am in Atlanta, people will not like it.
Yeah.
Well, I told the people rushing. I'm a woman of principle and dignity. I'm very straightforward. I do where I agree about here, I agree somewhere I be.
Yeah.
I have a blame of Bona. I have a blame of Agboyan and Rizzi.
Yes.
I'm not a woman. Before we came from Agona, I know I see this is where I touch regarding this our brother Obaseki.
Yeah.
Mami mane Guala Jani, while we were not capping on Obaseki from Canada,
yeah.
I am number one. And nobody ever saw my face. Momwe God sent person na ya campaign. But all this viral. Moga campaign. I didn't want to know where I was the one. no I promote. In my mother over do that I wouldn't mind and or you know, why am I saying this? Why Roba Seki, I blame me. I have nothing to get from that too. Open no dollar you me. Only you know me. Why me politics in here play na my wall available. Are you getting me?
Oh yes.
Oh, when Roba Seki, a PDP, I will PDP Roba Seki Guakai party ni. Mere ni meju no wa wina se whether out me. Ini me ya wori me. Wa wa do bi outside no wa wina se. Odo wa ya ogi me make. Wa bi how we je me mana wo se me bogbo. That's a principal person. Oh, when Roba Seki do tla diabo na vote no Roba Seki PDP ni 99.9 na who packet kan no ya vote in APC. Believe me, my brother, take it or leave it. Now you ring election ni ayi mu ne APC. Ask me why. In the federal in the federal tower, this is the way I want it. Here the bogbe rai. I make it to boy. Here everything I might know how to way. What belongs to Caesar, give it to Caesar. This is what I want you to do. Why I get my comment and anek. Yeah, I'm a anek or momono. And the tubu winning yaw. I'm going to go on a tubu. The other cabinet and have your lega no more job. Okay, can my go on? Why you gonna in my yak or agreement? They do agreement marine. We are a federal in a tubu ladian pack. Stated in public. Or where I not say, una not vote me. But now put me at the other side to correct me. Only point number one. I can't deliver a presidential no matter the date. A Buarina Mune. Ona the Ladia again, you not promise anybody. Give me which is all you want. Ona the Ladia again, where I was the last comment to no where if you now when I vote for me. If you want a dog back, 1 hour, yes. My brother, what do you expect? Ona munia. Awa agwane ki gwan. Iye wo ma me. Okonu me million me. Memu do agbe mo. O ma easy. Ake mi o ma lo to lo bo agie no ro lady oni. O ma is out of Edoni. Ni wa ye do me agie ma ni be do. Ma like you so money ma be. I can see that the way they're acting. We are munime arada go we are yet do you go near na IVSA and the VSA but me atrocity in commit. Understand the now. So Iamake then exist. And the Tinubu winning yahu yahu about lokeka why they got follow a continue we are in your dealing with Salubua Amana Reja Wamaju any day. I will get the man in the door never be. Because he had done it. He all the state. 15 people mania. Oh no. Oh no Baseki. Nobody participate when he has one kind of mouse. I can't where it is already. Oh believe here. While the secret of Baseki no he was studying. Any boo no way Namagava. Oh any ego also problem Jeroni. Amado Rai, allocation, na munema, ego na ya do the niji, I got spread the anywhere. A woman connect, or we do here, I share with your whipple, which is true. Other ticket time, that I interview where a those state, where the capital of Italy, all those states, you know, I supported because it here do. So you know, I'm been Canada for 40 years. Our little girl, leave. But even if we are working in Nigeria with mommy, you know what? The machine do work back. I will not need Ladia. We are bed. And when I you, we are warrior doing him at brother. Who do I hear when I will be Baba? But today, Manawa do here. Oh, faith, no, you did put on a yard. Oh, show me. And what the Basaki man want to do. And what prove no attach every Mugo de Naga, and I'm Mugo de Naga, and I'm not getting guy. One way I feel to la
Mama, could you just round off, man?
Okay. Okay, what's the cacabo? Also, if I do what Tata or Toshi, I am never to move. What perfect vote in APC, Tom, when on say, and then I get a CP, then I get or the bottom of the truth.
What's it?
Mavic, you never know where you are. Thank you, my brother.
What's it? So how about the bar? Thank you so much for calling. What's it? What's it, Mama? I really appreciate your call. You know, my sister who called just now, or make it might only pick a caller. Like we just 1 second. Let me, you need deposit in there. Like we a caller. I will open the call. I make not calling. My sister, not going, but I really appreciate your call. Okay, let me just accept it. Hello.
Hello, my brother.
Yeah, Buta.
Salobo Adebawe for this matter no more Utana, Mr. Lambert. I see, I'm calling from Italy. I see the way Noya support Obaseki for the second coming. Mamioge Oshobole Nuwataba. Gawa, Oshobole got time 4 years ago where Mani Viedo, Ohoho Mahia, Zokanima, Maipa. She spoke very well. They talk about one time where you will not baseki or send a social model. They talk about seki gaigo. Here very le. A little no your mio and kegbe. Here mio aine. Those manet do or determine voted to state. And I mean where Auji do not already turning Nima. It's a shameful thing.
It is.
Kimara, if my own prayer, the only position here where Akbiru here, where our country ring road, our country new Benin. Even commissioners, while we beg where a here CBA they had on here where Esa Auji here now. Whatever, just see the only thing Mike Banner do, am I in your pan or selling any? That's just the truth. Nobody knowing what Abu Sali Wunakido Ayeri. But now, Obaseki, Ehami Boya Wu Edo Ayeri Noma. Since he had left say where we going here, Rudigo, Noai, Usai. You go now, you bought kind of. Also, you work at Bill, almost you work at Bill. But the proudness, most of the things now, and a real boy by most of the local government. But most of the things now to be defied within the Benin City. Abombere. But thank God, Shaibu Mazan, Shaibu Kaha, well, my way rock banner. But today, no, they were also expecting when I can. You can't come here where on that is the truth.
No one was a cabo.
That is the truth.
Point is well made.
Someone a kawata mi man where mani do or hoho maria zokanima my lilie or ya velile because kenana rigu ya you. But at the end shall tell.
What's no one? Don't that's your opinion.
Someone like you say, Yamu, you don't even supposed to follow Oshobole. The generation to come, Oshobole destroy Nevedo. He's a Curtis, he's this.
No, what's I do round off in 10 seconds, please. So
I'm rounding up, my brother. God bless you. Thank
you. Everybody, I like to establish where everybody my opinion orient. And what I'm saying here is my own opinion on these issues of people equally calling opinion that way express. What you only establish on it and all of that. Some things have come up from the two callers that called in. If you're buying only tie where we broadcast na madoka about ya blame me man, but my making now here where my men wuna ni makia in wuna kugbe mo bono my making now be on ni machin. Edo where or we hear why forward to there. Ye why e photo there. E kenitani ke zore e manubu may not know. E why o gidigan o ke gae oba no rioba nyaido ona kabo ye iji no boom for the glory of the Benin Kingdom. Omade selfish, not a selfless Oba. That is the example. Understand? I make a kid of Baron here we will tell Dunia proper edo. The you know can usui iji ne why ogidigan iji utedo egonari obanya do. And iji oge why ni ya fefefe kebe ave eni oba ni ka o ya fefefe iji ni ya yi utedo selfless iji yahin. Selfless. Na ya tuntedo mu. No, that somebody came to my office. One lady on our Togo in him. My wife na go. The lady has lived in the UK for about 22 years. So you know, name or you're familiar with Nigeria. I know over here you back. You know we know. We also know we know. You know where over here I'm from Benin City. Benin. You know, what a brief history of Benin Kingdom. When in Maya conquer, Banika ya conquer from. You know, Kote Do Yase, even Yase Dahomey, current Benin Republic of FFF. The girl here can reply, man. Always story now, always a grandparent seeing in a story now, my I bet we they are from a place called Benin, where Hotel Nigeria. If you talk about one of the most widely acclaimed kingdoms of Africa, who said it Teva Manariye, the Benin Kingdom by Zeve. You know, a history in man there coming from our own ancestry. Our Banikal, Yini. Ega na na desi ko kilawa. Ina we ega na na be ara yege aneni. Aneni na vivie we gagbe. Ona empower anybody. Ona empower anybody. Aneni oga all dark anya politics o do. And then you are being responsible for all federal appointments. But as the governor of Edo State. Boy and neni no. Unlie ore a followership of neni ni. All the second you know. Akbakomiza or the tradition of a neni. Or are they like governor who a tradition in Billy Walker follow. The first interview, the first interview may watch or Akbakomiza or go on away primary. In what have you need? In a no way, here go a governor. The first no call Ladian or what Meru Tessan. When this land there is no water. If you are not going was a Batisan land. Now where the man, if not a man, or agigi or his son, you won't blame him for that. No. At all. You work about with Bobone. Where if you not here will tell those states, me person foremost, or if you not legal a constituency or Utessan. So he's going to be more a governor Utessan than a governor of those states. Now I'm not going to blame him for that because when I wire in Nigeria, and we manna no. I mean, I be who, you know, no, so I'm not here one of the girls. They're not going to be a winner Utessan. I will never not provide here. I want my own man. Iroyi, Dominicans. And what me in here little or someone that we are seeing going or the history now and then they say I near no here uplifted everywhere. No someone like a governor a day. Or someone all determine when a minister with federal government. There is no single Benin person. Now how where or no now. Ushomole where yes Ogile River. Now will you blame him? You won't. If you are working at him, so I mean, if you're doing it, where okay, we support you. I mean, the Dennis Dawes and I on a here instruction from practically the governor of Edo State elect currently is Adams Oshiomhole. Because you're here determining who swim in no soon. He might blame me. On a position properly. He can't ask now. Maga governor looking Benedium. Maga Oyegu. Edo sat na Kenya, isn't it? Obasa Kenya. But Obasa Kenya all the fool. At the end of the day, the man who has remained relevant, no Dolebweyi or Adams Oshiomhole. On the matter now, on a political leader, or a manivie do, no zendo. Error. Honestly, ina kaya kanban where. At the end of the day, you can find out who a do not the formidable or where my packet has seen where I collecting revenue with ring road, where I collecting revenue with not. And we yes one been an any who do I have where my body at here no molest or no mercy. Swear or not by swear. That would be where we are confined. Oshiomhole wono menwano. We no back tasin. He or him na ya lui my hair. So he uses he lui manivie do to do the dirty job. At a very beginning, I will not. The man here boy. If you don't hear boy, if you don't hear boy, let me take this call if it's hello. Hello. Hello, Obota.
You tell my brother, Comrade Newton.
You come Lantern, yeah.
Yeah. Like, now, in our calling you,
Go man 1 minute, man. You money
we in your banner where I will not see you over see.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But money to Nimaya see Yogima. I wear Bugio Bano, Eliona, or more offended. Okay, Kiaviri, or Yavigo Yuto in Ira, or Yavigo Yuto of Ira. You understand? No matter where if you know you, Macassin Yogimane, I will do a best where Waja Guaya Irima. You understand me? So, Shomole no video where all pocket can live here. You understand? Every pocket can here. So, the politics, you know. Where you man Obaseki now. It is very possible in this opportunity no so also now where so we don't have to blame ourselves man here to material but the cooperation in my given your bar in my child in my building cooperation so that I make now cooperation that's my take on that. Thank you very much.
How about the bar? So, Timman of a color, maybe of it opinion you way, where that in a way, anybody not really call it opinion that way, if I call the ita, opinion maybe ni make na ye ni do ni fia giwe, ni ya zo where Mare manane. I'm equally glad. Okay, about where Imani Bubi understanding where okay ni ma fear unime with ye. Abasaki ikata sina where a life in a year again the manari university where you are judged in character and learning. Una ka bo eni uma unwemi akpakpa khibebe uma mo nime. But so can pass. Obaseki became a governor in Amia or understand. Or here, I'm weather them. Or when we don't need the sagging, no need the ofigmo, ne do ama no selo ama. You know, but at the end of the day, today, Ogburio Manibu, as we know basically in Giasa, because where Unikata where Aluno more, I mean, basically about making mistake in a book. But my husband do I leak a wound or money. If not, they can the way forward. Not necessarily going away a donuzomo now. And the name not dear Kenny Magmayo or in the future. The many marry who in the future right here. I'm not call it ban on you know kind or what could be there running. However, name ye. Ogili hekina me we manivie do maku with sayo. Man, a traditional leader ne. Monoba nedo, a politician. Mabe need a political leader. On my battle scene, if I hear time where a federal yake tiring, a federal yake tiring, a federal yake tiring, a man or gualu desi federal ni. Inwe man kere wa de my setting where because of where my beho na me where you know my mudia de bima ma honey where ma ivie doni boom in redene federal ni osomo le ogwa gbese federal ni bi owo bi ye fefefe no wu do an relevance be the federal ni etinubo amudiania on article inu vie do o river kina zioni no concern the future of the state awari eknubo gwihu ni so hayo inu vie do garu mani e ba se ka wo shomo le ga river inu vie do garu mani e ba se ye ka we ivie edo no to over here ya be arriba gbeso ni me kwe dege na republic space no shomo le ka boy bi e uplifting o shomo le wa ri na ni ati meeting ivie do si o the meeting we na ivie do ni e pe ya carry out that this thing but uwe a meeting e here tie the bedroom kini ya na ka zioni ye ke do giun ugbeso vie do pe ro we ba okay kive ishai buna kive abi ibi homa so yeah I decide ne abi mani ya mi lo ni vie do ni make it be available in do have ya dispense it at the end of the day yo ye ti blame so mole o tun da we no ke no u no a weti ma be ni gbe ma sayo wa ri ma be awon pa no ke no ga our own leader on your money ya goan et vous here ya you vient a leader no dey selfish a leader no dey selfless in the interest of the kingdom e ma de bon goan ya defender Baseki have you knew Baseki ni no magba enwebe enwu saloboa o mana na enwebe na enwu saloboa ozo no o na enwu saloboa na enwebe o ma be gbafo ikata si and it tie with if agba ya tie if isi agbada bunu ya tie a government in Oshomo le wrong and I will not compare to a government of Baseki wrong on what by error so the how where Oshomo le muna so Baseki we do error to pokpa no e musa lo boa ona you know ka about we of Baseki and we be okpa esaya lo there e ma ya fefe no keke no mudia ni ona khule ya yegbere hunde musa lo boa ma agwe eni me no oriahi ibiahi yikedo ade we no keke na u amawe arabude ariye Hello.
Hello, bros. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Domas now. Sorry, I don't know if you can speak
Yeah.
Benin.
Are you here?
I can hear you. What's your name or where you calling from?
I'm calling from London.
Baba, you might say this though, because if you do, I only want to go one and
Okay, I don't speak here, though. I beg.
Okay, bro.
What you are just saying is a very touchable something, but some people will not understand. It's a very touchable something, but a lot of people will not understand. A lot of people will not understand. If you go to other governors and see what they do, maybe they might not do anything around the state, but when you go to where they came from, their community, they will beautify it. I can make example to you of Governor Okowa. Go to Agbo, where Okowa came from. Agbo is now a mega city. No matter what you will say about James on an Facebook, you go to Ogara. He turned Ogara from a village to a mega city. So the lesson about the Edo South, I heard that Governor Baseki is from Wonde. Go to Wonde, there's no bank, no development, nothing. Lucky Million rule for 8 years. Go to Okada. Okada still remain a village. Nothing to show. So I think there's a lesson we have learned for what is going on right now. The South need to wake up. That video Philip Shaibu was showing today, that MOA museum. German government give Obaseki 4 million euro. Since that place is being built from since 2021 up till now, I'm expecting that they're supposed to commission that place. Nothing. Okay, look at the road. You whole government residential, and look at the road, pothole. And if you look at that video very well, that road is a new road. That road is a new road, pothole. Huh? How can you, as a Benin city governor, disrespecting your own monarch? 2 days to election, you took all the entourage of your own people to a chief who is under the monarch, took them to there. That is the highest disrespect in the highest level. And some people are still here clapping for him. So if Mondokwe will go and develop his place, nobody can blame him.
Of course not. Thank you very much, my friend. Thanks
yes,
for
sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
thank
sir.
you. I appreciate your call. Thank you. So Zemini Katasi, Emanuel Tie, opinion that express, and people are right to their own opinions. Opinion with that. So Zemini Katani one, push a blame. He can't push a blame in if they believe you well, Obaseki or have a chance to do things a lot differently. Or if we achieve a goals and won't achieve yet, if you do with better position, you to be in here, or no mama window, or Raye. Oshomole was not in government for the past 8 years, but all year Raye because he had people in position everywhere. My understanding and every other thing. Because whether you like it or not, Oshomole is the political leader of do nothing and one kind of. Man, if you do South, man, need the political leader. Or man, yes, it's our political leader. Ale masonite to whom na bidabete na tebe him maderi here ne. Maderi here ne. I don't know about I see where you are one can if you didn't want roka me then. I cannot bear your mocane. Era wa you not too hardy man. Yeah, era wa you too hardy man. Again, I'm from or even Midwest in form. If I'm not getting it right, I correct him. But it's a long time I heard this story. Oba Kenzua, was in a meeting with his critical stakeholders. Or even I'm with Tracy where Namwe, no Vietnam producer a Benin governor. Then I'm a capital of that bender of Midwest. I'm a data. Or the data produce a governor. Namwe capital ye a Benin city. In the interest of everybody, Omonoba Bakenzoa, honor where Niamwe governor, Nasi capital Benin City. from that the urban knows where for the general good of the Edo here. Okay, the capital area, not Benin City. So he didn't yield to maybe immediate gratification when Oviedo governor, the capital area will be. I don't know if I got the story right, but this is the framework of the story. That was a leader. That's even a leader. A leader who anything. A leader will make sacrifice for everybody. But in the long run, all those seven he had made a leader that was what Tony and Nenny in the to the son anything. And in Oshomole to a donut anything. Omana wa mena bakomiza. Even your hand do to a son. Don't have the office in anything. Unfortunately, that is not what Obaseki will be to the Benins. Gbinedion be akin to Iviedo. Omanare ni ati not bare ni ati oyegun dia be akin to Iviedo. Edonuzomo. Owe agale lutan enye takokere sedo a totiko lutami amiende. Emena ni muso na. Na asa de finalize there na. So gbon no me to be me. Maybe go man the book one man the book be calling. Okabodo mo ringbe. You hold him about 0 year. 2024 ma ye na. Ate gwa ora oban. 2028 ya so to. Wa be ru de politics alone. As if ye do man need one a political leader. No de selfless. No wa mudia na miewe atomu no heke oro tedo. Na miewe ivie doni bude uplifted in a position of relevance. Na miewe aike miewa decide where the akin awe ivie do aro. I said to take a decision if you can because I must not be another unania. I have a decision I must take. If you do mana be present, and I know where aga azeto he ineroa. You have a history in the Makede. Have stories or have a nikau, our banikau, their exploits. We had to there where the nature or man do the mawade. Naza with our day now yena or lugan ni magaye again our own ancestors. Naraye. They were selfless. They were ensuring where yes, I do or coerce. Anyone na say me tangbe. E matana aye we ipatu. The pattern here, any here do ya, and I hear you son anybody. Yakabo imima. Mazenobi da fonania. Makabo, masileg bimane kakabo, kati the social media ni magina. Ni buru yek bine, a we no bune we yane. Yakabo imia. Ni mala wo. Ni mado gualo de ya se siri yokba. Or wakugbe or a team when I be all day. Ere mo hia ta he koedo ya se go ya so via ya so rion wa ile hia na ko hia ko gbe ya so lu hu de bae olowo akemi we o wan le ibi ki yisen amana lomi egbe olowo kate wa bi ya rekini makede etin ema yahin. Okay, and that my dad was, feel like on get bena do zangbe, I do so my with my motor ne iroin ne mami makabo ikiri woni na malawo. Ya to ohak me no soon da me. Remember UK now. Ire African shop on a balance can over Nigeria, but I over do it. My only sunu you be nothing, but over do every wabi do states. So on the mail didn't ever make a la in a nena where over do African shop here. Ibikina. Ona over do African shop ba kenye sunu yi okay ga resayo. Na ya mie we no omanu no be Nigeria no ba no wasike meni na wa almost opposite me ibe ya go ni deni me na ya go wie do no re ni na ya go ni deni cause ina fi we in fact ina fi we if no kekini uni that little sacrifice ya hia ari ki no ni yi na me we maybe contribute na ya business in him. That was I felt responsible for that. Ina be ham or ha make the wa me wa hia deni wa ri owo bi edoni adeghi eri ne e wa hia na adi obi ego na ne no sike mana wa do go ni there. It was a policy. If you be ero gbera we ewu oma ahu na me royi ina contribute na me we obi edo are me we imawa ihon koto ade we na ko be me we na tomu wa revenue you or need a condition you may not cost him anything. Why would I do it? Usumi no heke ni Maria me den gbi man kati mani re ewebo. We need to heke ni mamure were okay we 10,000 alimare 20,000 alibani re ni awaya isonye me gbe immediately. One of the food there. Ave fune ira adami he omono ba ne do vederio you know ona abu omono ba ne do ku apolopolo oba ewa e no pe ona mi o ma pe 5 years ona abu obaseki day ona temo ba o we no baseki the bigger picture a bigger picture ni mani bu dere na ono say na we okeke eme bu ni broadcasting na mami ke na agwegbi magun wa ene nwa obo wa ye opin o owe na bu ude no ri o ma ni ori e wo hu igba ke agwegbi magun ogezo ara do ba wa bebe ku abi aye be correct in reality Bible our faith cometh by hearing and hearing by the word of God. And then, you know, gwegbegun abi ahenegbe. Osani mure na if no yame you know kan that dey have any you know can I wear. Ti do go somo le gwe a ti do gwe makomiza gwe o. If no kini ya we ya una. Ya mudi ani bi e we. Hia be surprise wa kwa na me wa makomiza ala wane ya babe ivie àwọn chivie sako ye government ya gagbe ivie do agbuna ye park ivie do agbuna if no ma se ni e just surprise me ivie dio zangia at all through that way ya enegbe o keke na mi we matubi man ma mi enegbe a enegbe akugbe oke ya son ikata na o na ge Ishaibu me no feel beg so mo le say 4 years ago ede yiri ede yana mieyi Ishaibu osoma amudia na Ishaibu mudia ona ya me ovi maka sunu Ishaibu ya ilona ya le lo baseki hon through that way agbamori rene Ishaibu owo okho no ruwebe oriebe iremo vuyan la o otimayo obaseki okay wa beni no bun ana do mi we yan me na do abun we anyway ni wa zemini kata sin na ye do bata ayi bi tota na do bi o ayi bi mi ma so ni a Miri bayo woma. You know, you know kaki ni ma siri okba ni mado kugbe. Wa wesi wa baby nege kai. Lao zemi nibe tase na ni tase ami me ni ma we tase la abi mi me yi mi ne mwane se yagwa. Wa be arriba a podcast, you know, una me YouTube na watch la we subscribe to our channel, the Facebook, you know, we follow him unda we ene bun ma ga gwa kan me de agari de. Wa we se kakabo la wa ye mo EVC. And those state people and Nigerians across the world, please. First, let me quickly a bit apologetic to those who probably expected me to speak in Queen's English. To appeal to you guys, I needed at this time to talk to the Beninese, and of course, you know, for those who may not understand exactly what I'm talking about, you know, I apologize because the message I just talked about just now was, you know, directly towards the Beninese, and it's a conversation that's going to continue, and hopefully we're going to be discussing, you know, a lot more as the day go by. For now, thank you so much for joining me. May God bless you all. And may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I just want to say bye for now.
Peace.